Hello Aries, this is your tarot reading for January 2017. Okay, so shuffling the cards for just a few more seconds. As you know, my yearly readings and predictions are already up. So I hope you've had a chance to see that as we head into the first month of the calendar, the traditional calendar year. So let's see what's coming up for you. Your first card is Page of Cups, water energy. This is about this young girl. The meaning of young people in the tarot, a page is a very young person. Okay, Aries? So we're looking at youth and innocence. Cups represent emotion, of course. They also represent the element of water. So this could be a Pisces, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So a crush. But it can also mean new beginnings, feelings being overwhelming. And so we're looking at feelings of love that are not yet developed, that are still very much new and innocent and young. That heady feeling of when you're, and maybe this isn't about someone new, this is about having feelings for someone you're already attached to, or someone with this water energy who is in love, that you are connected to. More cups. We have a Six of Cups. This is about feelings for the past. More young people, by the way. This is about nostalgia and having feelings for memories of the past, family, missing someone, attached to memories. So the weird thing about this so far, Aries, is that I'm not thinking this is about you. This is about someone you're connected to who's very much young or naive about their feelings. And this can apply to an adult, someone who is longing for love, who needs love, who can be very needy in love. I have the Hermit in reverse, and this is a major arcana. And this is interesting because the Hermit is about solitude, but solitude in a good way. It's about gaining wisdom, going on a solitary journey to discover wisdom and knowledge and enlightenment. You see the light in his hand, but this is reversed. Now, these three cards, which are about the past influences, as we head into the present, which will be the next row, it seems as if there's a little bit of falling in love and letting our emotions overtake us and putting wisdom aside, not thinking things through. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I get a sense as you begin January, Aries, for some of you, that this is about someone who you discover feelings for, and it's very easy to get carried away and to put wisdom aside, to not think things clearly. I also get a sense for some of you in a different situation, that there is someone with water energy who is overwhelming with their emotions, and it's very easy to get caught up. Someone even from the past that comes back into your life, and you get caught up with that emotion, and you throw caution to the wind a little bit. Now that I'm not going to interpret that as good or bad. I'm just simply describing this water, this huge water energy with the children And then you see this wise old man being reversed here, that we're giving way to being joyful and innocent and hopeful about love. And we're not being so cynical and cautious as the hermit represents. So I think there's a reason why all these young people are overwhelming here in your reading so far. And this old guy, he's being reversed. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes when we are falling in love and we're giddy and we have hope and we're excited, yeah, it's very easy to give into those feelings. I have a Page of Swords that's reversed. Pages, as always, represent young people. And this represents a young person just starting out in research, wanting to know things, wanting to think things through carefully. Sometimes this is like a message or page. A page can not only represent a young person, but it can also represent messages that are delivered. So once again, it seems like communication and thinking, this energy is not so much important. The water energy seems to be overwhelming the thinking and the wisdom and the enlightenment. I have a Four of Swords here. And this is all about retreating, holding back. In the Rider-Waite, usually there's not a young person hiding, because you see she's partially in the shadows here. She's hiding behind a wall. She can't be seen. In the Rider-Waite, there's an image of a man sleeping. And so sometimes this is about resting, retreating, stepping back. And maybe that this is the heart of the matter here. Are you in a situation where you let your emotions win over, or someone else's emotions or feelings win you over? Or should you just stay back? And so, it seems to be a battle for you, Aries, because I see no fire here. I see lots of air and water. Keep in mind, air nourishes fire. Okay? And so it seems like your fire energy is getting more overwhelmed by the water and the emotions. And you might be in a situation where there's been a breakup or a retreat, or there's been distance, and you're not sure how to overcome that distance. Another sword. We have a Queen of Swords here. The Queen is a very wise woman. She's been through many trials and tribulations and tragedies, and she's very wise. She exercises good judgment here. And because, once again, air nourishes fire, you should see this as a complementary energy for you, for all of you fire signs. That's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So I think this is very intriguing so far for you, Aries, where you have all this water energy. You're reversing this cautiousness with the Hermit, reversing the Hermit. But then you get all of this air in the present moment that maybe previously your emotions, maybe you had to hold back. So you're coming into the picture a little bit more, not so much another person, but you're holding back on your emotions. Okay? You're trying to, maybe you paid the price for letting your emotions getting away from you. And so with all of these swords here in the present energy, as you head into January, this is more about you retreating and just taking a break so that your page is reversed. But then your Queen of Swords, this energy starts to come up here. You're getting a little bit wiser. Whatever this retreat or breakup or distance is about, it's giving you time to think things through here. I now have a Queen of Wands reversed. And fire, wands represent fire, which is your energy, which could very well be directly related to you. Now we're heading into the future with this last row. So what I am now seeing is that whatever this overwhelming emotion is about, this Page of Swords reversed and this Hermit reversed are probably indicating with this reversal of the Queen of Wands that maybe this is about you nurturing hurt feelings and stepping back. That maybe you put your feelings out there. This water, which is sort of opposite to fire, of course, and air is complementary to fire. You are sort of not letting yourself get overwhelmed with your emotions. Maybe you were hurt. And so I see this as healing, that this is about you trying to sort of recover. So when we go into the future and your Queen of Wands, your Wands energy is reversed now. Sometimes when fire energy is reversed, especially for queens and kings, we're no longer looking at someone who's creative and inspired and joyful and happy. We're looking at being a little bit unmotivated. Our fire energy is a little dampened. It can also mean that someone gets very angry, they're a control freak. You might start to get angry about some things the more you think about them. There's a reason why your Queen of Swords is upright, but your Queen of Swords is reversed. And I think that is that's interesting, that this thinking and reflecting and looking back at what happened is sort of reversing your Queen of Wands here, that your joy and your hopefulness is sort of diminished for some reason. More swords. So for some reason, these swords are telling your story here for the month of January. 9 of Swords is about worry. And 9, as you know, next to the number 10, this is about coming to the end or completion. So we're talking about being very worried and concerned, and even a little bit of depression here. The air is definitely having a negative effect on your natural energy of being hopeful and inspired. I have the Emperor, and he has a scepter in his hand. Now, the Emperor is about rules, organization, discipline. So when I look at your future here, Aries, and I'm going to pull an outcome card in just a few more in another minute, what I'm seeing here is that these overwhelming emotions, because of for those of you who are attached to someone, or if there's a person of interest, even if you're single, I'm seeing you with overwhelming emotions. And that maybe there was an unwise decision. Maybe you didn't look before you leapt. You didn't look before you leap. That's what the Hermit is all about. Being cautious. Seeing your way through before you move forward. Unlike the Fool, where you have someone, skipping on a cliff without any concern for what's ahead. Well, the Hermit is opposite to the Fool, because the Fool doesn't look, but the Hermit does. He has his light. He's standing on the cliff and he's looking. He's using the light to carefully feel his way through the situation. So it seems as if what happened here in this first row with all these cups and being young and naive and putting your feelings out there, you got blindsided. And so being blindsided, this air energy sort of pushed you back a little bit. You retreated. You need to think things through. So yes, some of you may be in a situation where you're euphoric and you're happy about a potential love interest or finding love. But then as we get here, we're taking a step back and we're being a little bit more cautious. But nevertheless, it is frustrating to be in love or to have feelings. And then maybe this other person is not returning it, or maybe the relationship is not moving forward. And so it's sort of, when you have this Queen of Wands reversed with the Nine of Swords, what we're looking at here is you now not being as happy or hopeful or joyful or inspired about love. It's like, oh, screw it, just to hell with everything. And so the Emperor, which brings structure and rules, sometimes in certain situations the Emperor is about limitations and obstacles that come our way. You know, external things that get in the way. And when you look at your two major arcana as well, the Hermit is reversed, and then we have the Emperor. And I'm thinking that there were obstacles in this relationship or potential relationship, especially for those of you who are single, that you fell in love, but you did not see the potential limitations or obstacles that were going to happen in this relationship. Okay. It's almost like one situation is falling in love with a married person, or falling in love with someone who already has a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you can't help it. And then the Emperor comes in to establish, like, these are the limitations you have to deal with. These are things that are sort of non-negotiable. Okay. All right, so let me shuffle for the outcome card. Okay. I have a Two of Swords. So 5 of the 10 cards are swords. Your energy is going to be in overdrive, Aries, to the point where even your energy is reversed. This is about making a decision, coming to an important crossroads and deciding, which am I going to stay or am I going to go? Am I going to go right or am I going to go left? But until that decision is made, nothing is going to move. Everything is going to stay exactly the way it is. And I feel like in January, especially seeing that this is a love reading, there's going to be an important decision, a crossroads, where you're going to have to decide, or another person's going to have to decide, do I move forward with this or do I not? And let me go back to another example that I mentioned earlier about falling in love with a married person. Okay? Because that can be really a living hell emotionally. When you fall in love with someone who is in a committed legal relationship. This Two of Swords could actually represent, you're going to be either in or out. You can walk away from this situation because it's going to get really complicated. And so it's going to be up to you to decide, considering everything that's going on in this complicated situation, to walk away or stay. And I think your instincts are telling you, I should walk away from this because it just hurts too much. I put my heart out there and I ended up getting blindsided. And so just prepare yourself to confront that decision. And it's going to be a very important decision, because it's going to determine whether you're going to continue going through all of these ups and downs, or you're just going to pay your bill now and say, okay, I'm going to deal with the hurt and pain and just try to get past this. I'm going to walk away. I'm not, this is going to be a complicated situation. I can see that. My blinders are off. So I'm either going to walk away or continue being in a difficult situation. But whatever it is, this decision is going to be very important for the long term. Know that, okay? So Aries, that was your reading. And as I said, my yearly readings for 2017 are up, so make sure you check that out. And I hope you're having a wonderful new year. I wish everybody a happy new year. And I look forward to reading for you. And I also have a very special promotion. My video readings are only $15 for the month of January. So look in my description where you can email me. I also have a link to my online appointment book. So check it out. And I hope to hear from you. Take care, and I wish you love and light.